trust is such a bizarre thing, especially when dealing with the unknown person. I firmly do think you can't trust anybody. I mean, friends, family, baby, but just these random people, governments, ideas, situations, the lady at the cashier at the grocery store. No, 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 no. Everybody has been programmed to be all about themselves and any means necessary to provide and make thyself a priority, which would include telling you anything you should want to hear to not be put away or done with. So they will tell you whatever they got to tell you to get you out of their face. It's sad. Maybe we could change. We could just act as if you could help people. You could really take the time out to pause and say what is needed to improve the situation for whomever may need it, if you know them or not. I don't know, something to think about. It's just like a different approach, right? Like, let's help everybody, regardless, or at least with your will. Will being, if you will it to happen in the best idea that you can. So you're not really going out of your way, but you are going from your heart and giving away information that you feel is best, even if it is uncomfortable. And that goes back to people learning to accept the uncomfortability, learning to give it, this is uncomfortable, and to accept the uncomfortable answer and be okay with it. Because I think that's one of the big things is people don't want to be uncomfortable giving it out. And two, people don't want that answer. So you have to accept the answer, which is the answer, and give it when people don't want it. So if we can kind of get everybody on the same wavelength, then we accept, we give, we get what we don't want, we receive what we do want, we don't like, the answer is what the answer is, and you cannot change it. Coin flip 50%, yes or no. Boom! Yo.
Podcast Jebuth.
So, finally finished the fantabulous Sick in the Head by Judd Apatow. This is a really good book. I've been talking about it for a little bit. 550 pages or so. And it's a bunch of interviews and stuff with comedians and humorists and good stuff. It's a great read. It kind of delves into comedy and people's ideas of it and just like conversational interviews. Even some surprising stuff where, like, I guess Judd Apatow, interviewed famous comedians like Jerry Seinfeld and I want to say not Mel Brooks, but not Albert Brooks, but the other Brooks. There's another Brooks, right? When he was in high school for his high school radio show, which, I guess the guys didn't know that it was, 1 watt of power being broadcasted only through the school, but they ended up doing the interview and then he turned into a celebrity. So cause and effect. Pretty neat. Also a funny story in there I thought was when he was a big Steve Martin fan, and when he'd visit his mom in California, they drive by his house, and one time he saw him and he asked for his autograph in front of his house. He's like, I don't sign in front of my house. And he got all bummed, and so he went and he dropped a letter in his mailbox, and then years later, or not years later, but his next book came out, he mailed him and his brother a couple copies, and then he runs into him when he's famous, and it's like, what, dude? I saw some really good movies this week. Harold and Maude. This is something I kind of just recently heard of, and it's a fabulous movie. It's from 1971 from Hal Ashby, about this rich kid who, for fun, goes to funerals, right? Fakes his death in front of his mom, and she's just like so over it. He's doing like suicide pranks, which is pretty funny. And he falls in love with this 80-year-old lady. And spoiler alert, they're about to get married. They're totally in love, and she's 79, turning 80 on her 80th birthday. She takes a bunch of pills and she dies, and it's kind of like a love story, romantic comedy-ish, but a really good flick. I mean, just cinema, really, really nice. Another gem that I saw, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This is a good one. Woody Harrelson's in it, and I remember hearing about it. I think it got nominated for some awards or something, so I always wanted to see it, and I just recently watched it. But it's really good. I want to say kind of thriller-ish, but it's this lady rents some billboards outside of town and calls out the commissioner, or the police chief, and causes this big hysteria. So kind of a cool little thing, but she's calling him out because her daughter was raped and murdered, and they haven't found the guy yet. But that's pretty good stuff. And then I watched again for the umpteenth time Encino Man with Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser. It's a goodie. I mean, I think I saw it in theaters when it came out, and I haven't seen it since, or haven't seen it recently. But it's funny, a bunch of laugh out loud things, and I come to find that I'm just a big Pauly Shore fan. I ran into him once in high school at a Soundgarden concert. Yeah. And he's cool. He's funny. I mean, it's like PG, but it's a good flick. It's a '90s classic. That being said, try your hardest, do your best, read more books, stay amazing. Podcast Jebuth.